Welcome to the present. If you're just seeing my channel or join my channel for the first time, be kind enough to strike the like button. Very, very important. Make sure you subscribe here. You subscribe or consider subscribing. Maybe make sure you subscribe is a bit too strong. Consider subscribing if you to subscribe, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell. We have a lot to discuss on the menu. So we're going to be discussing Tomiyasu, right? Is pending deal. We'll discuss Tomiyasu. We're going to discuss Saturday's match against Brentford. We're going to look at Ramsdale coming back for Raya. We know Raya is not eligible to play against his parent club in Brentford. We've not made that deal permanent, so we cannot afford to play him. We're going to talk about Martinelli's injury scare against Sheffield United. He hobbled off. But apparently, there's nothing serious according to Mikel Arteta, even though Mikel Arteta will be having on that press conference where he'll be questioned regarding Martinelli's fitness, and we'll find out more tomorrow. So there's a lot on the plate. So if you like, one more time, strike a like on the video, subscribe, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell. Let me make sure the audio is right on YouTube itself. Let me make sure everything is sounding well. Yeah, everything's sounding well. Doesn't look bad. So let's start from Tomiyasu, because there's been a lot of conversation regarding why are we giving Tomiyasu 100k or this new contract, doubling his former wages from 50k to 100k, which I find very ridiculous. As Arsenal fans, right, we used to question and used to have a lot to say regarding the fact that Arsenal were penny pinching. We're not able to keep our star players in the past. Now that we are doing so, some of you still have the audacity, the goal to complain about paying what I'll consider the market price to keep certain players. Tomiyasu can go to Bayern and get 100k per week. He can go to any top club or decent club and get some money. We should be happy he has decided to stay. Now, Tomiyasu, let's be fair, unfortunately at Arsenal at the moment, will not be getting a starting berth. But he can go to any other team and get a starting berth. Tomiyasu is that player, even though he doesn't get a starting berth, he can come in for Saliba and do a great job. We saw the drop-off last season when you had Rob Holding coming for Saliba. It was massive. If Tomiyasu was fit at that time, there's still a huge chance we win the league, because the drop-off between Tomiyasu and Saliba is not as wide or gaping as the drop-off of Saliba to Rob Holding. Tomiyasu is a very fantastic defender that loves to defend. Now we can actually have a discussion regarding his fitness issue. I understand some of your concerns regarding that. He has been struggling with certain injuries, but none of the injuries, even though he had a knee injury last time, it wasn't an ACL injury, right? He doesn't have any significant injury. Why we should be skeptical about giving him this new deal? He has earned his buck, in my opinion, and we should allow it. See, you cannot complain when we're not keeping our best players. Now that we are trying to keep our best players on premium pay, and some of you are complaining. Like 100k per week is not excessive. If Kentia can be getting same amount of money, why can't Tomiyasu, who is more, in my opinion, I understand Tomiyasu, Kentia is a striker, Tomiyasu is a defender, but in relative terms, if you look at their importance to the team, Tomiyasu getting 100k is not huge. It's not that huge for a player who has decided that he will come in when we need him, and he can play across the back four and give you a 7 to 8 over 10 consistently. It's not a Rob Holding who at best can give you 6. Tomiyasu can play the left back, can play the left center half, the right back, and the right center half at a high level with no significant drop-off. So you have to pay the going rate. You have to pay the going rate. If you want to keep the best players, you have to pay the going rate. So I can't fathom why people are still complaining, oh, why are we giving him that much? He doesn't play all the time. Why? So you want to lose a player like Tomiyasu to your rivals? He can go to Bayern. We saw how Bayern were keen on getting Tomiyasu. He can go to Italy. They'll go to AC Milan. They can go to Inter Milan. They'll be ready to pay the 100k. Some of you are listening to me. I'm happy Arsenal trying to do the right thing. They understand the market, that you have to pay the going rate. There is no blind loyalty these days. You have to pay the going rate to keep the best players within your team. If you want the best squad, we have to pay even the squad players the going rate. So for me, it's a fantastic news that Arsenal, for me, some people are saying this deal has been signed. Some are saying the agreement has been closed, has not officially signed. But we'll have to wait till Arsenal officially drops the news that he has actually signed an extension. Regardless of the feelers we might have heard from insiders or not, we have to still wait for the official platform of Arsenal.com to come and tell us Tomiyasu has signed a new deal. So I'm happy we are keeping our best players. He's young, he's a good defender, left foot, right foot, fantastic. He loves to defend. That what makes him a standard defender for me. He loves to defend, he cherishes it. He might not be the best going forward, but defensively, he is very, very, very sound. So for me, we have to keep our best players, keep our best squad. See, there are a lot of games these days, and injuries are part of the games. When we discuss this injury thing, I understand Partey has scarred us, a lot of us, because of how Partey has missing and is a significant player to our midfield. I understand that. Tomiyasu's injuries are not that overly significant like Partey. So I think it's a tad malicious, with the lack of a better term at this moment, for it to say Tomiyasu is overly injury prone. I'm not saying there is not asterisks of injury concern regarding Tomiyasu. I'm not saying so, but to say Tomiyasu is injury prone is a bit excessive and over the board. So I will not subscribe to that. Let's not go that far. So from Tomiyasu to Ben White. So we've seen how Ben White has been saying he would rather be at Arsenal. He loves it at Arsenal. He has been a main, for me, fixture at Arsenal. For me this season, even though he dropped up for the Dubai, his performances were not as great as now we are seeing him, but he has been consistent. Availability for me is very important in the modern game, and Ben White gives you a lot of availability. And in the last few games, he has taken it up a notch. And I understand. I like the fact that Mikel Arteta has now been using his squad more. We've seen when we are winning, we are blowing teams away with 5-0, 6-1, 4-1. Then we take away, we take out Ben White and bring in Cedric to finish the game. That's how you manage when you are competing for a title race. That's why I was a little bit annoyed with Mikel Arteta, because he kept on overplaying Ben White, in my opinion, in certain games. I understand Cedric is not a cup of tea. A lot of Arsenal fans will like Cedric, but Cedric can do a job, especially if you're winning. There's no need to play Ben White over the stretch of 90 minutes when we know Tomiyasu is out and Simba, unfortunately, is out. So we have to be very careful how we manage the minutes of our players. We don't burn them out. I like the fact that in the last few games, once we've actually scored a few goals, Mikel Arteta just takes out Ben White and rests him. He has been a fantastic player, and we are hearing Arsenal are getting closer and closer to an agreement with Ben White on a new deal. We need to keep him. He has been a fantastic right back. And actually, his natural trade center is as a center half, and he's doing a fantastic job as a right back. And especially in the last few games, he has been terrific. Ben White has been terrific, and we have to make sure we reach an agreement as soon as possible. And I'm enjoying the fact that Arsenal have been proactive to keep our best players. Unlike in the past, where we were struggling to keep our best players, now we are being proactive to make sure we tie our best players to long-term contract. That is very, very important. You cannot afford to be losing players because you lose the rhythm of the team. You lose the fact that you are see. If you lose your best players, replacing them is going to be difficult. Aside from the rhythm you lose, replacing them quality for quality these days is difficult. The market is not overly flushed with quality players. Do not be misguided. The market is not overly flushed with quality players, so you have to keep your top-notch players. And there's a premium to be paid. And you cannot, in one hand, some Arsenal fans are just crazy. You cannot, in one hand, complain that Arsenal are not trying to keep their best players, then complain about the wages. It's a competitive market. It's a capitalist market. Players are as loyal as how much you can pay them. If someone else can pay better than you're paying, they will move. They are mercenaries. Do not be fooled by them kissing the badge. It's a job to them. And I have to understand they have mouths to feed and families to feed. You have to pay the going rate. If you want to keep your best players, regardless of their nationality or their loyalty, even they come from the academy, you have to pay their going rate. You have to pay. So this nonsense of, we are paying, you cannot complain as are not being ambitious, and when they're being ambitious, you complain. It's not your money. Let the club pay the going rate. So let's move from Ben White to other news. Now, I did a video regarding this aura, and I love this. This reminds me of the Invincibles. Those days, we won games from the tunnel before we go to the pitch. Look at look at this aura. This. See, I love this. Anytime I look at this picture, this still photo, it just shows that Arsenal have moved from those diminutive, smallish midfielders, smallish defenders who were very shy, who were very a bit apathetic, to more. You can see they are aesthetically strong, they are tall, they are intimidating. Look at the Ben White's facial expression. It's like we are here, even though we are playing away, we are here to take all 3 points. We are coming to collect 3 points, and there's nothing you can do about it. There is nothing. We are here to collect the 3 points, and there is nothing you can do about it. Look at Saliba, cool and intimidating. Even Raya is showing a bit of coldness that we are here to pick 3 points. This actually reminds me of the oral I was lucky enough to watch the Invincibles. This was kind of aura they showed those days. They beat you in the tournament before they beat you on the pitch. And I'm loving this about the aura the Arsenal boys are showing as of recent. And they're actually matching their aura with action on the pitch. We are stifling teams. We are beating teams for five and six or 4 goals. We are actually controlling games. It's all fantastic at the moment. That actually always encourages me that this title race, regardless of the fact that the media will tell us you don't have the experience. Yeah, they're right. You don't have the experience. Oh, you've not won it in 20 years. They're right. But right now, Arsenal are playing better football than Liverpool and Manchester City. They are defending better. They've considered less goals. They've considered less chances. We are aesthetically pleasing to watch. You can't, like, experience is experience, right? But experience without competence is bullshit. Let's not pretend that experience is everything. There's no pretend. There's this nonsense mantra narrative that experience is there to be valued, but you have to match experience with competency. And right now, Arsenal are very competent, unless you're living under a rock. The way we move the ball, the way we play the game, we are creating chances. We are talking in our chances. Even players come from the bench. The vibe is fantastic. So let's not overrate and overstate the importance of experience. I'm not saying let's negate and neglect experience, but it seems that they push narrative to overstate the importance of experience. So because there are other experienced players in the league who don't have quality. So what's your use of this so-called experience without quality? No, what's the use of experience without quality? What will you pick? Quality, competency, or experience? I'd like to know. What will you guys pick? Experience or quality? For me, I'm picking quality. If you're good enough, you are experienced enough. Saka is young. Martinelli is young. There are other wingers in the league that are older and more experienced than Saka and Martinelli. Are they doing better than Saka and Martinelli at the moment? Absolutely no. So without devaluing experience, so let's not overstate and overrate the importance of experience to competency and able to do the job at a particular time. So let's go to this photo I saw. Look at Arsenal. We've won 7 consecutive matches in the last. Won our 7 matches in the last time. We are first in terms of wins. We've actually scored 31 goals in the last 7 matches. First compared to others. We've conceded 3 goals from 7 matches. That is fantastic in 2024. 3 goals from 7 matches. We had 4 clean sheets, better than any other team. 19.07 expected goals, second in the league. Shots on target, we've had 54 shots on target, we are told. So we are looking great in all facets. Now, I know some of you love statistics, and I like statistics, provided you apply the relevant nuances. Now, even though the statistics are looking fantastic for us now, when I watch it, because I watch football, I don't read. Now, sometimes I can read reports on football, but I prefer to watch football. Any sensible human being prefers to watch football. That's why we all enjoy it and call it the beautiful game. You have to watch it to enjoy it. Now, you might not see certain details where you look at statistics. We can go down and look at statistics, but you have to look at statistics and apply the relevant nuances for it to make sense, or else you will misread and misjudge certain things. So, Arsenal is looking great. I love, especially the eye test. Arsenal for me are passing the eye test. Now, the eye test for me will always supersede statistics, because especially if the eye test is done in good faith. There are some bad-fated eye tests where people want to use it to win banter or win argument in certain panels or whatever. But if you apply the eye test with no agenda, you can actually see that Arsenal are playing the best football, winning well. Then if you look at the statistics, you can see it actually matches up with the eye test, in my humble opinion. If you are watching this on the playback one more time, be kind enough to strike the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I appreciate that. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell. Very, very important. So Martinelli actually limped off in our last game against Sheffield United, unfortunately. And Mikel Arteta came out to actually downs the fact that a lot of us were scared. Was it a knee injury? Did he have did he jar his knee, or did he have anything? But Mikel Arteta came out and told us he had a slight cut on his toe. He should be fine. Hopefully, he'll be fine for the Brentford game at the weekend. Will I push him to start? I don't know. I'm not part of the medical team, but we know Martinelli is needed in this title race. We need to manage him carefully. If he's fit enough and Mikel Arteta trusts the judgment of the medical staff, I will expect him to start against Brentford. But if he's not, let's not risk him, because we still have Porto to negotiate in the midweek on Tuesday. So we have other players that can play that wing. There's Trossard who can do a good job. He might not have the pace, the blistering pace of Martinelli, but he's technically aware. Two-footed, is ambidextrous. He can shoot. He's more technical. He might not have the pace, but he's more technical than Martinelli, in my opinion, at this moment in time. And we have Smith Rowe, who have been showing signs of the old Smith Rowe. I saw the game he played. It's not against Sheffield. The game for Sheffield, when he came in, those runs, those driving runs, those movement, dropping the shoulder, he's still there. So we can play Smith Rowe there. We can play Trossard. Even Reece Nelson can come in on the left wing of Martinelli. If Martinelli is not fit enough, let's not risk him. He's a slight cut on his toe. You can patch him up. But if risking him will actually aggravate the injury, there is no need to risking Martinelli against Brentford. We have enough players in the squad to negotiate that. So for me, let's keep Martinelli under wrap or under the cotton wool. But I'm not the manager. Mikel Arteta thinks he wants to play him against Brentford, provided he's fit enough, provided there is no risk of him aggravating that cut on his toe. So let the manager decide. I can only give my opinion. Let the manager decide if he wants to go ahead and play Martinelli against Brentford. Now, for Zinchenko and Tomiyasu, we've not seen them in training pictures, even though Mr. Arteta said Tomiyasu has started doing some grass work on the pitch, but we've not seen him since he got back from the Asian Cup with that slight calf strain or injury. So I would love to see if we can give, if he's fit enough, to give Tomiyasu some minutes to get him match fit, because we will need him against Manchester City at the end of the month. That match is very, very important. Now, as much as I raise Zinchenko, I do not deride him the way other people deride him as if he's defensively useless. He might now Zinchenko has his clumsy moments defensively. I admit to that. I'm not silly. I'm not delusional. He has his clumsy moment. But the way some of us just go in and say like Zinchenko is defensively useless, that's unfair. That's a lie. That's overstretching it. That's a lie. Defensively, Zinchenko is not defensively useless. He might be clumsy. He has his clumsy moment, and I understand that. But he's not defensively useless. So let's see if Zinchenko and Tomiyasu will be fit enough to get a few minutes in their legs against Brentford. Brentford are a tricky customer. We know Ivan Toney will be coming to come out audition. Now, I already made let me put this on the screen. I already made a video, pre-recorded video. It's on the channel. You can go and watch it. Make sure you strike a like on that video. It's on my channel. It's on my library. You can go and watch it later after this live stream regarding this match on Saturday. We know Ivan Toney will come and show himself. He will want to put in a performance worthy of Arteta or the hierarchy at Arsenal, considering him as a striking option. Some of you who have been watching for a long time know my opinion on Ivan Toney. I think he's a decent striker, but he's not Arsenal level, in my opinion. He's not technical enough. He's not skillful enough. When you play for Arsenal and we are trying to get to the next level, strikers like Ivan Toney are not the strikers. I'm sorry. Regardless of what some of you think or your thought on, or the fact that what's his name? Jesus, sorry, I had a brain froze there. Jesus is not clinical enough. I disagree. Jesus might not clinical enough, but Ivan Toney is not as clinical as a lot of you are thinking, because he's scoring some decent goals at Brentford. Brentford's objective and Arsenal's objectives are different. He's not playing against low blocks as often as the strikers at Arsenal are playing against low block. I've not seen Ivan Toney dribble out of tight spaces. He's not blistering quick. He's not technical enough. So he's a fool's errand for you to think that he's going to come to Arsenal and things are going to change. We do not play the way Brentford play. We're not crossing to a battering ram up front. We like to play the ball on the pitch, on the gaff rather, move it around. And we need technical players who can facilitate. For me, we need a collaborative striker, and I don't think Ivan Toney is a collaborative striker. For me, he's a kind of independent, selfish kind of striker, which is not bad, provided he fits the objective of the team. And Ivan Toney, for me, doesn't fit the objective of the team. So we know it will be an audition for him. He will want to put in a shift against Arsenal, which he likes to do. So let's see. But I trust our defensive duel of Gabriel Saliba and who again? What have I say? Gabriel Saliba. Sorry, of Gabriel and Saliba. What have I? How will I say Gabriel Saliba? Sorry, I trust our defensive duel of Gabriel and Saliba to actually marshal Ivan Toney. He won't have so many chances against us. Saliba and Gabriel, for me, are the best defensive duo in the Premier League right now. As there is no better defensive pairing in the Premiership that are better than Gabriel and Saliba at the moment. And Ivan Toney, for me, they will make easy and light work off. So I expect them to bring in Mbeumo. I saw Mbeumo on their official, was it Twitter? I thought I saw Mbeumo is back in training with Brentford. I don't expect him to start, but I'll be surprised if he decides to start him. He has been out for a while. So this game should be an interesting game, but we still expect Arsenal to win comfortably. Brentford are not a significant threat. They've not been winning so much. They've been like some of a yo-yo team this season. So I expect us to make light work of Brentford. And Raya will not be in between the goalposts because his parent club are still Brentford. He's on loan from Brentford. So unfortunately, we have to bring in Ramsdale this time. Now, I'm happy that this time the conversation regarding who is number one, Ramsdale or Raya, has died a natural death. I love the fact that conversation has died a natural death because we all know objectively Raya is a better goalkeeper. He can pass from the back, and play from the back. He's more collaborative with how we play. He's more in tune with how we play. I understand some of you like the shenanigans Ramsdale provides, giving it to opposition fans and opposition team. But that's not why we are here. We are here to be serious-minded and win games. And nobody's saying Ramsdale is a bad goalkeeper. Just Raya is just a better goalkeeper and a better fit for our system. Because the narrative at that time was that, some of us just hate Ramsdale or we don't just rate him. No, I've never said I don't rate Ramsdale. I like Ramsdale. He has been there for 2 to 3 years. He has done a decent job. I won't say fantastic. He has done a decent job. He has been capable. But if somebody better is available, we'll take a nick at it. You cannot say you want Arsenal to win the biggest trophies, and when there's opportunity to upgrade, because a player is your favorite, you are going to turn your nose around it. No, you can't turn your nose on it. We found Raya who can play better with the team, is in sync with the ideals, the etiquette of the team, and we try to do it. And it is what it is. And if Ramsdale decides he wants to leave at the end of the season, there's no problem. Which more the best for me. My team comes ahead of any player. I am not FC of any player. I'm not fan FC of any player. I'm a fan of Arsenal. Arsenal comes first. All players come secondary, regardless of my personal love or attachment to certain players. My love for the club, our affinity for the club, will always supersede any affinity I have for any individual player. So for me, so let's see what Ramsey can do. Hopefully, he doesn't have a clanger. When we played at Brentford the other time, that it was very shaky in the first half. He picked it up in the second half. Hopefully, at the Emirates, Ramsdale can keep up a good performance without falling off. So let's see what he can do against Brentford. I still expect a victory. I still expect a victory against Brentford at the Emirates. They are not a team that should be disturbing our peace. Brentford are not good enough to to be disturbing our peace. So those are the news beats. There's not any other significant news until we wait till tomorrow. We'll wait till tomorrow when Arteta will be doing his press conference to know any other updates regarding player fitness and player availability for the game against Brentford. So, guys, that will be it for now. If you're watching this on a playback, be kind enough one more time to strike the like button. Very, very important. If you're new over here, consider subscribing. Very, very important. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell. And I will see you guys on the next one. Arsenal Presents. Bye for now.